Church of the Palms, I welcome you to the third week of Lectio Musica. Today we're going to explore a different style of music. First, you're going to listen to a tape of Shay Darian and her two daughters, Willa and Morgan, singing Isi Oliwa. Listen to the tonality and the vibration. I don't want you to have the meaning of the words yet, and there's a reason for that. Just jot down your experiential responses. Some might be emotional, some might be descriptive, but trust what comes to mind as you hear them sing this chant.
Ishe Olua, Kole Pajeo, Ishe Olua, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo, Ishe Olua, Kole Pajeo, Ishe Olua, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo, Ishe Olua, Kole Pajeo, Ishe Olua, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo.
This Nigerian chant was sung at our church on June 27th as the offertory music selection. The meaning of the words that you heard them chanting were, God's mighty work will never be destroyed. Now you're going to hear the chant again and think of the meaning as you hear the words that you didn't understand before. Again, jot down your responses. And the meaning of the words are, God's mighty work will never be destroyed.
Ishe Olua, Kole Pajeo, Ishe Olua, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo, Ishe Olua, Kole Pajeo, Ishe Olua, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo, Ishe Olua, Kole Pajeo, Ishe Olua, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo, Kole Pajeo.
Now, after you've heard that second playing of that chant, beautifully done, with outstanding harmony, you can tell they're all related, because that's the sound you get when it's a family singing in parts. We're now going to have a set of questions that appears on your screen. As usual, you can jot them down or click the line below to have it print out on your computer. And here are the questions that I want you to consider. What emotions surfaced for you during either listening to this chant? Do you experience this repetitive type of music differently than a hymn with stanzas? If so, how do you describe that difference? Do you feel the chant was spiritual to you when you didn't know the meaning of the words? Or did you have a deeper experience with the chant when you knew the meaning of the words? Did the melody and harmony alone, without knowing the meaning, take you to a spiritual place of spiritual feelings? If yes, why do you think that happened? What took place? Now pause your screen, take time to answer these questions, and hit the arrow in the bottom left button to return when you're ready. Chanting is an ancient, historical method of contemplation across many religions and philosophies about the universe and the divine. It is one of the most traditional methods of contemplation in religious literature and music. For Christians, they were documented during the papacy of St. Gregory in 590 to 604 Common Era. At that time, they were collected and codified. They were called Gregorian chants. You've probably heard that term. You've probably heard some samples of that. Although they had existed for centuries, within the Christian tradition, most chants draw their words from the Psalms. In our lifetime, there is a religious group in France called the Taizé community, T-A-I-Z-E. They have written hundreds of chants, and their monastery is devoted to the primary mission of writing chants that promote peace and love in the world and sharing that music with the world. Fundamentally, a chant is a deep immersion experience in the creative power of the universe itself, according to the Episcopal priest Cynthia Percolt. She teaches us that we engage with three core elements out of which the earth was fashioned, and through that, transformation takes place. Listen to her three elements that she pulls together from the scriptures and applies to chanting. The first element is breath. Our own Christian story in the Hebrew scriptures of creation speaks of the fact that God's breath brought forth life. The second element of a chant is tone or vibration. That is merely adding voice to the breath. The third element is intentionality. When you participate in a chant, the quality of your intention and attention is what makes the difference between it being beautiful or boring. As you give yourself over to the chant, that's where the spiritual power and energy, or something you don't have words for, starts to happen within you. You become one with the chanting musical experience. Now, a chant can be as simple as a word, and it can be sung or spoken. I'm going to put words to a Taizé chant that's very popular around the world on the screen. I'm going to let you jot it down. There's not a line for you to click and print it because it's short. I want you to just write the words. It's very easy. I'm going to patiently be with you. And you now write down what you're seeing on the screen to the chant, "O Lord, hear my prayer." Just writing the words will put you in the mood for a chant. Now, I'm going to share with you a choral and orchestral singing and performance of this Taizé chant, "O Lord, hear my prayer." You have the words in front of you. I really encourage you to sing along, to engage with intention and attention to this experience. Just participate and enjoy. Don't do any writing. Now that you've seen that marvelous performance, I'd like you to pause your screen and just write a few words and reactions to your experience of seeing it and participating with it. Return when you are ready. It is response time, the gathering time of your experience in this Lectio Musica. With what you wrote from hearing the Nigerian chant by the Darien family, and what you jotted down after you sang along and watched the Taizé chant, write a few sentences to describe and summarize your devotional experience with this music form. So pause the screen, write as long as you need and as much as you want, or make a list of words. There's no right or wrong. I'll be back in just a moment. Rest, our final step of Lectio Musica. And as you rest this time, know that this recording was done with love and intention in December of 2020 at a very tumultuous, frightening time around the world with COVID-19 running amok. These musicians gave their time and their devotion and love of music to sing this arrangement by Mark Hayes, to share with us, to bring us a sense of, hear my prayer, O Lord. Be in the presence of the Spirit at the moment, God the Divine. Use language that matches you, but just sit in the awe and the beauty of what you have just experienced. Soak it up. Stay as long as you wish. When you're done, you will know what you need to do to say thank you for this time in whatever way matches you. And a special thank you to Shay, Willa, and Morgan Darien for their chant. And a thank you to the gift of Mark Hayes, who gathered this whole orchestra and chorale together through this magical media called the internet and provided a unified collective experience of the Taizé chant for us. Peace be with you. The divine hears you, hears your prayers and songs. Have a blessed week, and return to this if you want during the week, and repeat it. I'll be here next week with another type of Lectio Musica for you to experience. God be with you.